So I'm in the kitchen. I'm gonna make a brew from start to finish and show you how that I do it, and it's obviously the right way. It's a little bit echoey in here and it's a little bit messy, but it's not too bad. Usually you can see Dartmoor out my window, which is over there, but it's a little bit manky. It started to rain and it's gone a little bit dark. It's currently 4:30, so of a Sunday evening, so it's kind of it is a little bit later than I usually do on a Sunday, which is like usually about 3. So it's usually daylight outside, and usually you can see Dartmoor pretty well. But obviously you can't today because it's dark and it's miserable and it's black and it's ugh. So I'm gonna make a cup of tea. I've got some limoncello behind me, strewn away. If you're wondering what that is. So let's get straight into it. So before we get started with making a brew the way you're supposed to do it, we need actually some actual ingredients. We've got some milk. We need some of that. That's actually out of date, 20th of December, but it should be alright. If it starts curdling, then we might have to rethink. But then we want many tea bags. It is in the Kilner jar just because yellow swag. I've got quite a lot of tea bags. Chuck the tea bag in the cup. Then we also need to boil the water, which is going to take us Christ knows how long. So once the kettle's actually finally boiled, after about 10 odd minutes, add it to the tea bag. 500 ml of tea. It does use a lot of water. I did actually fill the kettle up stupidly, and I've also stupidly forgotten the teaspoon. That'll do. This isn't going to be a Chinese It's So Cool like video though. That's just like outrageous scenes. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. I don't really know why. It's just a bit bizarre, I guess. And because there's so much bloody tea and only one tea bag, it's ages to fucking stew. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping this milk is not going to curdle when I add this, because it could make the tea almost impalatable, which would be very, very annoying. Let's have a go, see what happens. What's it smell like? It smells a little bit off, but it should be alright. Is it curdled? Nah, we're right. In actual fact, that's probably going to be alright for a couple more days. It seems to be like the weird thing with milk. It's alright, it will taste alright, you can have it on its own, and then when you add it to hot something, like if you add it to porridge, it fucks up and it just goes all curdly and shit. Oh, that's hot. Grab the tea bag, go and squeeze on the side and then take it out. Put it in the bin. I'm not having one of these bloody idiots going on about, oh well, you should take the tea bag out before you add the milk. No, that's wrong. You're doing it wrong if you do it like that. Get rid of the teaspoon and give it a little. Right on. Right, let's go and retire to my bedroom and let's talk about some news. So it has a brew, which you did just see me make. So this is kind of going to be, well, I suppose there was going to be some news attached to it, but this is going to kind of be more of a wish you a Merry Christmas kind of video. And I hope you liked the bit at the beginning. I didn't want to kind of do, well, I don't. Somebody did say they wanted me to do like making a cup of tea or making a brew, and so I've done one. I don't know whether or not, what you guys think of it. I don't kind of want, well, the reason I haven't done one for ages is A, because the house is full of people and they might find it a bit weird if I'm in the kitchen recording stuff, and it was such a pain in the ass to record that out in the kitchen. It was insane. So I probably won't be doing something like that again. But I didn't really want to do it because I thought it was a little bit too mainstream YouTube dickheadish. So, you know, because all the main YouTubers decide they're going to do that kind of stuff. And, you know, they just kind of just act like twats basically most of the time, and they're just unfunny. And they wear vests all the time. And, oh, yeah, shit. I might have accidentally worn a vest in my last video. Yeah, perhaps that's not, we'll brush over that, but you know what I mean, like just people like Jack Staff and just twats like that are just YouTube famous and generally are, I don't know, they just act like dickheads. Like Tyler Oakley, not a fan of him either. Just a few like YouTube famous people that just get on my nerves. So I don't kind of want it to be like that, even though it kind of has been steering towards that because I've been wearing a vest and I've been doing kind of dickhead YouTube kind of stuff, so I don't really want it to be like that. But yes, it is currently the Sunday before Christmas in the evening, but by the time this gets uploaded it'll be Christmas Eve, and so tomorrow will be Christmas Day and I will be down in Cornwall with my parents, so I won't be actually doing very much. I'll be probably active on Twitter, but I won't be active on YouTube until the new year, probably the second week of January. I'm actually, funnily enough, I'm not actually feeling that Christmassy. I usually, well, this happened last year, I get to like end of November, beginning of December, I'm feeling really Christmassy, and then leading up to Christmas, it just dies off. All the energy I have for Christmas is kind of gone, and yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just not feeling very Christmassy at all. Hopefully that will come back on Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day, and I'll be buzzing for Christmas again. But as it currently stands, I'm not, which is a bit boring. But I don't know. I just don't feel very Christmassy at all, and I usually do. I've had I had an office Christmas party yesterday. Well, it wasn't an office; it was actually at Wetherspoons, nice and classy. And I did try, for the first time ever, Tennessee honey, so Jack Daniels. That was a pathetic epic mealtime Jack Daniels-esque impression. But yeah, I tried some Jack Daniels Tennessee honey stuff, and it was fucking amazing. It was I was very late to the party because usually, well, because people have been saying how good it is for ages, but because it's been so expensive, it's like, well, it's currently 18 quid a bottle in Sainsbury's, but it's usually about 22 quid a bottle, and I didn't want to, lay down 20 sheets on a bottle of whiskey that could potentially be shit, and so I wanted to try it out. So I tried that out last night, and that's pretty much all I was drinking. It's fucking amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna go and buy some of that. I've got much Christmas booze. I've got some spiced rum kicking about. I've got some gin. I've got some limoncello, homemade limoncello. So that's stewing away. That'll be ready by then as well. So I've got lots of Christmas booze, so that'll be good. And what I was going to say, I could do a Christmas video over Christmas of, well, like a beer time without beer, with like spirits, I guess. But the trouble is, the lighting at my parents' place is shit, and the acoustics in the front room are crap. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be crap anyway. And editing things on my laptop's gonna be shit, so there's not really any point, and it would then have to be uploaded in the new year anyway. So I'm going to give YouTube a break over the Christmas, or over the holidays if you're American and being very politically correct. It is Christmas to me, and it's Christmas to probably not the majority of the world, but pretty much everybody in the West, in the evil West and all that other stuff. Because no. Obviously, but then I guess if you're in the evil West, it's only the evil Westerners that are watching YouTube, I guess, because I guess I don't want to say the Middle Eastern people, because that sounds really racist. What can I say? Well, I suppose it is the Middle East and Africa, and the stereotypical Muslim countries. I don't know, or Islamic countries. I want to say, I guess this is going to come across as very racist. But yeah, I guess a lot of those guys won't be watching. I know there's some guys from UAE that watch my stuff, which is really cool. I do want to kind of visit the UAE at some point when I do want to. I'm going over to New Zealand at some point. Well, not some point next year. I'm definitely going over to New Zealand, and I might stop off in the UAE. Only because that's kind of, you got to stop off somewhere if you're going to New Zealand. Or usually you have to stop off 3 times, because then you have to hop on a plane from Australia to New Zealand. And then either stop off in Canada or stop off in UAE, so I might try and do that. But that all stems on what I'm doing with my job, and whether or not I actually get anywhere with it, and whether or not this continues to be like on the increase. If YouTube decides to take off, then I can use that to travel not travel the world, but go to different places and meet people and stuff like that. Even internally as well, in the UK, in the United Kingdom, meet up with some folks and do a joint brew time and stuff like that. And I'm always up for doing stuff like that. If you want to do it via Skype, or you want me to be part of your, I don't want to say channel, because channel sounds very stupid. But if you want me to be part of your YouTube and of your videos and your segments, I'm quite happy to do that. I know there's been a few people that have asked me to do it, and I've kind of said no, only because it's been like a case of they kind of sway one way. Like the content they produce is a little bit one way. Like it's like all Call of Duty Let's Play videos, which is fine, but it's just kind of like, not that I don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff, but it's not necessarily relevant to the kind of stuff that I do as like a general news kind of thing. And usually most of the time they just talk about Call of Duty and stuff. But no, I'm quite happy to be part of collabs and things like that, and I'm quite happy for people to come on as guests on here, and I would really like for that to happen, because that would be really good, because it would then mean it's more than just a two-way conversation. And I think as much as my video with Michael Tremor with the IP file project was a bit shit, because I was the one doing all the talking because I'm a motor mouth, that kind of stuff is great, and I really want to kind of do that, and hopefully at some point maybe travel the UK and do it with a few peeps that I know through Twitter, which would be really cool. Yeah, so that's kind of like my plans for next year. Going forwards, and yeah, so that'd be really quite cool, and it'll be really good if this continues the upwards trend of you know, increased views, increased monetization, and stuff like that, because it means that I can then worry less about actually working for a living and doing this more, not necessarily full time, but doing this a bit more, because it means that then I can buy better equipment, and I can, you know, I can actually develop this much better. And even look at maybe getting some things commercially produced as well. Well, not commercially produced like Ray William Johnson, I mean a faggot like that, but I mean in terms of things like graphics and things like t-shirts and stuff, so get professional designers in to do like things like that. But if you have got any ideas, or if you do a little bit of artistic stuff, I've already got one person who's looking at trying to develop some stuff for me. So somebody I know in real life. I won't mention his name because he might not want me to, but he has asked if he can be part of Brew Time. So in the new year that will probably be happening, and we might go out to Dartmoor, and we might just do some, I don't know, back you know, in the woods kind of stuff. That sounds really dodgy, not dogging or anything like that, but you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you've got any ideas, or you know, you've got a bit of spare time, and you want to create some stuff, great. Send it through to me and I'll have a look. And for a minute it'll be free. I mean, if it's really good, then I will pay you for it to be used commercially. So if you created something and it's really cool and I really like it, then I'll put it on some t-shirts and I'll pay you a commission for putting it on t-shirts and go from there. Because the best will in the world, I'm not the greatest graphic designer in the world, which is why the banner's a little bit shit, and I haven't really got the time to create stuff like that. Nobody's bought a t-shirt yet, which I don't mind, but if you can let me know why, or you can let me know if you want specific designs, or if you think it's a stupid idea, then just let me know and I can either close the shop down or I can expand the designs a little bit more. The only reason I sent it up was because you guys wanted it. It's not a money-making scheme, because the actual, I think I earn, it's just pathetically small. Even if one person bought one, it's not even... It's nothing really, but because I wasn't for a money-making scheme, because I knew not very many people were going to buy it, but nobody's bought anything through there, and I was like about 15 people that were really keen to get some stuff. So either, yeah, let me know what you think. If you think the designs are shit, that's fine, and I'll try and get some more created. Or if you think it's a really bad idea, then I'll just close it down and go from there. Yeah, but that's me. That's me being a YouTube whore for a minute, I guess. Because I don't want to be like that, because that's like every YouTuber ever. So there was only three bits of news that I wanted to cover, which was, well, we'll cover porn filtering first, because, well, not porn filtering, but just filtering in general. Because BT's porn filter, default porn filter, is shit. It basically decides it wants to block things like childline in the NSBCC, and gay, lesbian, and transgender, and all other stuff. Websites, which is a little bit worrying, because things like that are quite important, especially for young people growing up. It's especially for teenage years, and going through different bits and pieces. That's kind of quite important, and we all knew that was going to happen, because they're just so generic. The filters they put on them are just so generic. They look for specific things, and they therefore filter out educational stuff, and we all knew it was going to happen, and this is another reason why default porn filtering is a bad idea. I mean, I think it's just a stupid idea in any way, because the trouble is, parents aren't switched on enough to... Because obviously, as a kid, you're not going to tell your parent, can you turn the porn filter off, because they're going to then immediately say, well, why? And, obviously, if their parents, they don't want their children to watch porn, but, that also then means that they're not going to have other things that they can go to for help as well. And I'm not going to, slag parents off, but a lot of times kids don't want to come to you about, all sorts of bits and pieces. And I mean, I work with young people through scouting, and you know, even as a leader there, they don't want to come to you about all sorts of bits and pieces, which actually you can provide them with great advice about, because it's just awkward. Talking to adults about things is just difficult. Whereas if you can go to the internet and be anonymous and just kind of, you know, look up things to do with sexual health and things like that, you know, it's a lot better and safer, and you know, it's just better doing it like that, because sometimes you just don't want to talk to your parents about stuff. I was 16 months, and yeah, so yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but that's kind of, we knew that was all going to happen, and yeah, so hopefully it doesn't happen, and they you know, ISPs wake up and think, well, actually, we're not going to do this because it's stupid, because yeah, their customers, probably the majority of their customers are going to be naive parents, but you're going to have a lot of other people that aren't going to be naive parents that are going to be really annoyed by the fact that that the default porn filtering is going to filter out things like sex education and stuff like that. So yeah, so there's that. It's kind of my ethically correct and very nice and happy, not happy, nice and yeah, my nice segment, which I think is the only time I've ever actually done anything like that before. I usually slag people off, usually. And then moving on to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's halved its value, which is a lot sooner than I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to have... Well, I actually was thinking it was going to crash, like, next year sometime, when the US government decided that actually they don't want any part of Bitcoin and they just want to trash it. Trash it. Get rid of it. Not trash it. I'm not American. Like, trash. I put up the trash, man. I don't know what kind of area of America that was. It was a really pathetic American accent. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm quite surprised it hasn't crashed before, because the availability of bitcoins, because obviously bitcoins are, you know, everybody's mining them, so therefore, you know, they're quite abundant. They're probably the most abundant they've ever been, and so therefore you'd think that their price would kind of go down. But they've had their value because the Chinese government have decided that they don't like the currency and they don't recognise it, and so the currency is halved. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. It'll go one of two ways: either it'll crash again completely and it will just disappear off the face of the earth, or it'll continue being a value currency, and you know, and the American government and the UK government and all the, you know, the, I don't want to say the relevant governments, but you know, maybe like the likes of the European Union will class it as a real currency and a real commodity. It's already been classed as a currency in a lot of places, and you still have to claim dividends, losses, and gains and stuff through taxation and stuff, because it's kind of, well, it is a real currency, and you do have proper financial obligations there. It's the same with in-game stuff, in-game currencies and in-game stuff. If you're trading, then you do have to declare your gains and losses and all that other kind of stuff, because it is essentially, it's a financial kind of thing, and the ones, and the, you know, the people that are running it also are liable for being a financial institution, because that essentially they are providing with the currency and all these other bits and pieces. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different in the UK, but I know the US is very, very complicated in their taxation laws and their finances, which is why you have to kind of usually get an accountant to do it, because it's just so complicated. In the UK, it's all done automatically pretty much for us, so that's nice, unless you're self-employed, in which case you do have to kind of self-assessment, which I think is pretty easy to do anyway, so that's not too bad. Yes, there's that. Last thing was there's a Lego dragster, which can do 12 miles an hour, powered by air. It's like a Kickstarter kind of crowdfunding project, and it looks really cool. So check that down below. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find that out. That's pretty much it in terms of news. If you do want to buy a t-shirt, it's probably best to wait until the 8th to the 14th. There's a 20% off code, which I'm going to put in the link description below. So 20% off everything on the Spreadshirt store, which is really cool. That's not including my stuff, that's including everybody's stuff. Like I say, if you really, really like, or if you don't like the stuff that's there, let me know, and I'll try and create some more designs. I'll try and get somebody else to create some designs, or you can create some designs yourself, and I'll pay you a commission for doing so. Well, assuming I like the design, of course. It's the same with the banner. If you can create a new banner, go for it. I want to try and get that. And I've already got somebody that's kind of working on it. Hopefully you can create something really, really good. And hopefully one day you'll come in and you'll meet him, and that'll be really good as well. So I think that's pretty much everything in terms of news and everything else I wanted to discuss. So I won't be doing a video until the second week after. The second week in the new year. So it'll be, I don't know just like what day it'll be, I don't know. I'll probably do a beer time that Friday, I suspect. But I probably, and I'm going to do a load of videos in the new year. Well, I'll say in the new year. In 2014, there's loads I need to do. I need to do some more review videos. I need to do IP5 Eco. I need to cover that because that's kind of, I've only got that for a few months. So I need to do a load of videos surrounding that in the IP5 project because that's really cool. And I need to do a few more like networking and proper PC kind of stuff because that's what you guys want. And it's all the kind of stuff that seems to get me the most money. And again, I'm not trying to be a YouTube whore, but at the same time, I kind of want to develop this. So it's more than just me doing it, you know, as just a, not necessarily me doing it as a goodwill gesture. Me doing it as a more of a professional way of. I'm just trying to think how to put it. More of a, I want to do it more as a kind of a service that that you know I can buy kit and stuff, and I can buy decent microphones, and I can buy decent cameras, and I can accelerate, and I can get a better studio. I say studio. I can get a kind of an area that's kind of got a segmented area for creating stuff and creating content and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm going to be getting cool over the Christmas. Next year I want to try and do some collabs and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So beer time I want to get into maybe about an hour long, but I'm going to try and get some people on. Also, if you want me to do any collabs with you guys, if you've got like a channel or something like that that you want me to appear on, or you want some advice on some stuff, I'm quite happy to do that. And you can hit me up on Twitter, is probably the best place, or send me an email, just say, you know, I really want you to do like a bit of a collab, and yeah, I'm quite happy to do that. That's not a problem. It's the same vice versa. If I really would like to get some people on, beer time specifically, maybe even brew time, just to discuss some things, discuss the main news, and do, you know, kind of get some people on and have a bit of a healthy discussion about some things, because, you know, it's better than just a one-way conversation with me talking to you. Well, I say you, I'm talking to a camera, but me talking to you guys, as opposed to, you know, as opposed to me talking to other people and kind of getting a bit more of a variety of stuff. So that's what I kind of want to do. And so if you're interested, hit me up on Twitter at @AsYouChill. Send me an email, asyouchill@gmail.com. Have a good Christmas. Have a happy and prosperous New Year. I will catch you in the New Year. I will be probably getting myself drunk at some point over the Christmas, on much spirits, and probably getting fat on chocolate and everything else, and just general merriment. So that'll be really good. And then in the new year, there'll be loads of videos about all sorts of stuff. Hopefully I still have a job at the end of January. But if I don't, that means one of two things. A, I'll be poor, but B, it means I can do loads of YouTube stuff. Which is really good for you lot. Although I know there's lots of people who are saying, I can't keep up with the stuff you create, because by the time beer time's half an hour long, and by the time this is a little bit longer now, yeah, I do apologise for that, but that's what you guys want. That's what you lot have asked for. Yeah, some of you want it a little bit shorter, but actually a lot more of you seem to want to have the longer segments, you know, half an hour. At least sort of segments. So beer time will still remain that sort of length. Brew time will still remain a little bit shorter. But yeah, hit me up if you want to do collabs. I shall catch you in the new year. I shall drink my brew. I shall probably edit this with some sort of spirit of sorts, probably Morgan Spice rum perhaps, and mix that with a bit of Coke. But yes, apart from that, I shall catch you in a later. No, I'll catch you in the new year, and I shall catch you in a later video.